Welcome to today's Emunah Minute. There was a beautiful statement by the Chafetz Chaim. Chafetz Chaim writes that sometimes a person is davening Shmona Esrei. They get to the end of davening to Sim Shalom, the last bracha, and they realize, I just went through an entire Shmona Esrei and I had no kavanah. I had no concentration, no intent, totally didn't pay attention to the words, didn't pay attention to meaning, didn't lodge my petitional request to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, didn't connect, didn't forge relationships. And so a person gets to Sim Shalom, they're all the way at the end, and a person says, what's the point? Why should I even bother to summon up a little bit of kavanah, a little bit of concentration for Sim Shalom, for the last bracha, when everything before it, the entire Shmona Esrei, has been so empty and meaningless. Just an empty cistern, a meaningless experience. What's the point of trying to have a little bit of kavanah, a little bit of concentration now, if the rest of it was totally void of any concentration? And the Chafetz Chaim gives a beautiful mashal. He says there was once a girl who was selling apples, a young woman selling apples in the marketplace. And a group of ruffians, a couple of rough and tough guys come by, and they demand that she give them apples. And she tells them, well, the cost of the apple is, 50 cents. And they say, we're not paying for anything. And this goes back and forth. They demand that she gives them the apples. She refuses. This poor young woman is trying to eke out a meager living. She just wants a couple of cents, 50 cents for the apple. So what do the ruffians do? Well, what do the hooligans do? They take the table that she's selling the apples on and they flip it over. They flip the table over. The apples go rolling everywhere. So what happens? In the confusion, the hooligans begin to grab the apples, gather up the apples, and are getting ready to scurry off, getting ready to run away. And the young girl is crying out, help, help, help. They're stealing my apples. They're taking my apples. And an old man who's witnessing this scene comes over to the girl and he tells her, stop screaming. You have to behave the way they're behaving. Get down on the ground and start gathering as many apples as you can. The old man says, what good does it do to scream when they're gathering up all the apples? You have to behave like them. They're grabbing. You have to get down on the ground, grab as much as you can, salvage as much as you can, save as much as you can. Don't spend your efforts screaming. Don't spend your efforts lamenting, for it will do nothing for you. Get down on the ground, gather whatever you can. And explains the Chafetz Chaim. Sometimes we get to the end of Shmona Esrei, and at the end of the day, tefillah went by and absolutely no meaning, no purpose, no deeper insights, no requests, nothing. And so it's easy to think all I should do is just cry out and give up. But the Chafetz Chaim says, grab what you can. So you're up to Sim Shalom, you're up to the end of Shmona Esrei, and now finally you realize, maybe I should have a little bit of kavanah. Grab that last bracha. But what about everything that came before it? What about all the apples that got away? You could spend your life screaming and yelling and crying about the apples that got away, or you could try to grab the ones that are left. Says the Chafetz Chaim, bend down, grab the apple, grab the Sim Shalom, grab the bracha, grab the opportunity. Stop crying over what's lost and maximize what is. And then the Chafetz Chaim goes on, and he says, sometimes in the month of Elul, we begin the month, and the month is filled with promise and potential. Okay, it's true, I didn't accomplish during the rest of the year what I said I was going to accomplish last year, but it's Elul. It's Elul, and there's a whole month. This is the month. And then what happens? A person could get to a week before Rosh Hashanah. And a person says, ay vavai, I'm up to Sim Shalom. It's the end of the month, a week left, less than a week left to Elul. Right, Rosh Hashanah is Emir Hashem this coming Monday night, less than a week left to Elul. It's like getting to the end of Shmona Esrei, getting to Sim Shalom, and then saying to myself, I didn't have kavanah. What happened to the month? I had so many plans, goals, aspirations. This was going to be the month that I was going to turn it around. I was going to cram an entire year's worth of avodah into this 1 month. And now, less than a week left. I'm at the end of Shmona Esrei, I'm at Sim Shalom, and I realize I have not had the requisite kavanah. And says the Chafetz Chaim, so I have a choice. I could lament the weeks that have gone by, or I could take the advice that the old man gave the young maiden. Bend down and grab the apples. Grab what you can. Are you going to grab everything? You're not going to grab everything. Can you make up for lost time? Some of it, but probably not all of it. But if I have a week of Elul left, Don't spend your time lamenting the 3 that are gone, but focus on the one that's ahead. Bend down and grab the apples, grab the opportunities. At least have kavanah in sim shalom. A week is a long time, and the truth is, like the Gemara tells us, yesh kana olamo b'sha achas, that a person sometimes could go ahead and acquire their entire world, in the course of just one moment. We still have a week. Worlds could be acquired in a week. Lives could be changed in a week. Apples can be gathered in a week. A sim shalom could be davened with incredible kavanah. If we have not yet accomplished what we hope to in this month of Elul, let us find the resolve, the strength, and the commitment to Mirz Hashem utilize this last week in a meaningful, purposeful, and kavanah-dik way. Let us salvage this last week to accomplish all the things we need to grab the apples we need to make the changes we need to, and to enter into Rosh Hashanah with a sense of confidence and a sense of simcha. Wishing everyone a wonderful day.